everybody? Welcome back to the 31 Days of Horror. I am your host, Moon616, and thank you once again for stopping in, guys. Yes, day 28 is here on the 31 Days of Horror Volume 3, and we are going to take it back to the year of 1988 with a film called Heart of Midnight. This one right here is starring Jennifer Jason Leigh, among familiar faces, which we'll get into here in a minute. But let's start off with a little bit of a synopsis on this one. Basically, this one follows Jennifer Jason Leigh's character, Carol. She is not living like the greatest life right now. She's living at home with her mom, and she has a little bit of mental issues. She's got a little bit of a history and things like that. And so one day, she learns that she has just inherited her uncle's club. Her uncle that she didn't know very well has passed away and left her this club because I think she's like one of the only living relatives that he has. So she takes this opportunity very not lightly. She jumps right at the opportunity because, you know, to do anything to leave her present life and go and start a new life. So she arrives there, and of course the club is in shambles. You know, there's a construction crew updating the place that her uncle had hired previously. And so she moves in, and it's one of those places where the club's on the bottom and her uncle lived upstairs, and it kind of like this apartment type style setup. You know, it has a bunch of rooms and things. So she gets moved in there, and then one day some of the construction workers decide that they're going to attempt to rape her. So that situation happens. She gets all fucked up and freaked out from that and shit like that. And then shortly after that, she starts to have like all these strange visions, and she's having these weird kind of daydreams and nightmares and things like that. And then she starts to believe that, you know, the building itself is out to get her. She believes that someone's like in the floorboards or in the roof and shit like that. Her mentality has just gone to shit, and now she's trying to figure out if she's like going crazy or if this is really happening and things like that. So that is the synopsis of the film. My thoughts on this one. This is a very interesting film. You know, on the outside looking in, it seems pretty harmless, but it's actually dealing with a lot of pretty extreme issues and things like that. I mean, it's dealing with the fact of like AIDS gets brought up in this film, pedophilia, things like that. And, you know, it's things that you just would not expect from the setup like this. But, you know, all in all, it's a very, very eccentric looking film. The aesthetic of this movie is second to none. I absolutely love the atmosphere. It's so cool. The isolated kind of building that they shoot in, it feels like an isolated film because they only really kind of shoot in this club and in this building and stuff. So it has that type of feel, but it's very odd. You know, the club, they even mentioned within the film, it's been changed over tons and tons of times. And the upstairs where all these rooms are, it's very reminiscent of an Italian film. I mean, you can see in the background that hallway right there is kind of what the main hallway in the film looks like. It's all red, and it's got all these crazy blues and greens and yellows. All the rooms in this place are all done up differently, and they have like these really weird setups of all this kind of eccentric shit that's going on. So you kind of get an idea of how her uncle was. And, you know, upon arrival, she doesn't know how to take all this, and it's really fucking up her mentality. And I love this aspect of the film. It's very psychological. You don't know if she's going crazy, or if it's the place that's just making her crazy, or if the rape had something to do with it, or whatever, or everything combined. You're not actually 100% sure what's going on. A very, very well-acted film. I think this is one of Jennifer Jason Leigh's absolute best performances. She plays such a weird, oddball character in this oddball setting. It fits very, very perfect like a glove. It fits very well. But yeah, man, I just love the way this thing kind of sets itself up. It's got really good pacing. It's got some really interesting ideas within the film and stuff. I think where this film falters a tiny, tiny bit is in the third act, though. I think the third act goes on a little bit too long. Once you get the reveal of exactly what is going on, I think it just takes a long time to get where it's going in the third act. That's my biggest complaint. I think it runs about 10, maybe 12 minutes too long in this one. They probably could have shortened that up a little bit. There is some nonsensical things that are happening. Once you finish the film and you kind of think back on it a little bit, you're like, okay, now why did that happen? Why did that happen? If you can kind of suspend your disbelief a little bit and just kind of take it for what it is, I think this one will work a lot better. Kind of like yesterday's review with the Caller. Suspend your belief sometimes when you're watching these films is probably the best thing to do. But all in all, man, there's a lot of really good cinematography within this place, too. It looks fantastic. They use a lot of really cool angles and shit like that. But I love what they did with the colors. It accentuates just the story itself. You know, once you get the reveal, you're like, oh yeah, this is really crazy and shit. But it's a really freaky, downbeat, fucked up film at the core. That's what I'll say. It's really fucked up. So, and it's kind of gross in a sense too. It's really strange, like just where this thing goes. You're not really thinking that, but all in all, very cool stuff. Love the visuals. There's a really cool scene where she's kind of freaking out and she sees this huge eyeball and there's all these eyes in her waterbed and shit. I absolutely love that fucking scene. It's really, really great stuff. But, you know, that's all I'm going to say about the film right there. I want people to go in and enjoy it without giving any more away and, you know, just kind of enjoy it the way I did. This is actually the third time I've watched this movie since I bought this Blu-ray. I knew about this film for years, but I'd never seen it before. So when I heard that Kino was putting it out, I jumped all over it. I was like, why not watch it on Blu-ray right away for the first time? And I was not disappointed whatsoever. Jennifer Jason Leigh, I have always liked her as an actress, and she's always done kind of different, you know, she plays, you know, different type of characters. She can play those type of characters very well. It's almost like a character study for her in this film too. It's kind of interesting how they do it, but I'm going to come in at about an 8.5 out of 10 on this one. I think, you know, the more you think about this one, the more you watch it, it's just like, it's crazy. I think really, really cool stuff. Yeah, Heart at Midnight from 1988. Like I said before, it's probably on the lines of like a drama, horror, thriller. If I did mention that, I'm not sure if I did or not, but yeah, it's got the drama and obviously the horror stuff, and you know, it's very thrilling too. But Heart at Midnight, man, give this one a shot. Definitely an underrated gem. I haven't never really heard anyone talk. In fact, I've never heard anyone talk about this movie. So if you like what you hear, definitely give it a shot. It's readily available. You can pick this one up for pretty cheap. So yeah, check it out. Pretty cool stuff. Definitely if you like your psychological kind of weird madness, like on the level of, maybe not so much on the level as like a David Lynch type film, but it has its moments like that, which is pretty cool. So I'll leave you with that right there. Go out and enjoy this one. I'll see you guys tomorrow on day 29. Peace!